Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. It is me, Desiree, and we are here today because I wanted to share my makeup inventory. I've never taken an inventory of my makeup before. I've seen people do it here and there, but I've never really wanted to seriously do it myself. I tried to one time last year, and what I ended up doing was just writing down the word foundation, and then I put a little tally mark with each foundation I had so I could count it really quickly. But then I would find another foundation over there, and I was like, wait, did I already count that one? I didn't know. So then I gave up because it was taking like more than 5 minutes. But I decided to write down every single thing. I touched every item. I wrote it down by name, and I added them all up. I literally touched everything. Everything in my other room, in a little display. Everything. Excuse me. The only thing I didn't write down by name were singles, because there were so many. I wrote down a couple of different brands names because I wanted to see if there were any duplicates. But I wrote down literally by hand every single item in every category. So this video, I'm just going to be sharing with you the category and the numbers. That's pretty much it. Oh boy. So bronzer, I keep right there in that top drawer. I thought about 15. I have 32 bronzers. I couldn't believe it. But as I was picking up each one and writing it down, I was like, I love this one. I love this one. I love that one. I love that one. Like, I had so many that I was like, 32 was the right number for some reason. I was like, I have to have 32 bronzers. The next one was primers, eye primers, and face primers. I had 17. Some of these are deluxe sizes. Like, I had this tiny one here from Dior. I counted all of these as one thing, as a primer. It not necessarily all just full sizes, but face primers and eye primers. For face powders, loose minis, and loose powders, pressed powders, and minis, I had 14. That's more than I thought I had, because I honestly thought, like, off the top of my head, I could think of maybe 3 that I have. But I wrote down all of them. All small sizes too. So if I have like this little one from Kat Von D, this counts as 1. Even though I have 2 of these, I counted them as 2 separate things. Because a little powder like this for me is going to last a really long time. And it's a powder that I own. Wrote it down. 14. I thought about, since I was already going to be holding each item, writing down the cost. But I thought that would just make me die to know all of the money. I was sharing some of these numbers with my boyfriend last night. And he was trying in his head to add up numbers. And I was like, I hate this game. I don't like this game we're playing. Anyway. Moving on to concealers, I had 13. I just finished one up, so I crossed it off. I finished up this Morphe one. So now I have 12 concealers. And when I look at all of these too, I like all of them. Like, I will use them all. Concealer is something that I use. I have been saving all of my makeup empties for the year. There's more concealers in there than any other makeup product. So concealers, I don't want to say it's easy to get through, but I do use them all the time. So, and there's always a new one. There's always a new one to try. Oh my god, the eyeshadow palettes. So I'm going to hide the number really quickly. So I started writing down eyeshadow palettes. I have this whole page here. I got this whole page here and this page here. And it came out to 154 eyeshadow palettes. A palette I consider 5 shades or more. If it was 3 or 4 shades, I did it as a quad or a trio, which I have a separate category for. So these are everything that are 5 shades or more. It was a palette. 154. And as I picked up and held each one, I was like, I love this one. I love this one. I just used this one. But of course, there were things in here that I hadn't used in a long time. Like, for example, the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea palettes, those round ones. Haven't used those lately, but I love them. Like, I wouldn't want to declutter them. And I did post a declutter just recently because as I was touching each of these items, there were things I didn't want to keep anymore, stuff that I didn't want to write it down that I had it. I wanted to immediately not have it in my collection, in my inventory. So I did post a declutter of some stuff before inventory. Next page is face palettes. These ones are right here. I had 32 face palettes. Same with this one though. Each one was just like, I love it. I love this one. I have to keep all 32. I did declutter a few, but you know, 32 was the amount I went with. And as far as what I didn't count anything that I keep solely for sentimental value. Because there are some palettes, some blushes, some things like that that I don't use anymore, but I keep them in here or over there or in this box with the rest of my makeup collection, although I don't use them anymore. But I didn't count them because I don't count them as makeup. They're just there for sentimental value and just to be a thing. Like they're a display piece, I guess. You know, not a usable piece of makeup. So there weren't a lot of things like that, but just a few. Like for example, that one right there. Oh no, it's right there. That green line. It's a Coffee Break with Danny ColourPop collaboration that came out years ago. It's dry as a bone. It's not usable, but I keep it for sentimental value. I keep it because I want to keep it. Although it has 4 Super Shock shadows in it, I didn't count those as inventory because they're dried up. I don't use them. Just an example. The next one was face sprays. I had 11. I thought I was going to have a lot more. Face sprays or anything like this. This one, I forgot I even had, but when I started counting face sprays, I was like, why do I still have that? It's the Flower Seal the Deal spray. It's got to have like this much left in it. I did put a different sprayer on it because the one that's on it is really awful. And I was like, why did I stop using it? Like there's literally, I could see it moving this much. Why did I just stop using it? I was almost done with it. So I have 11 face sprays to use. Love them all, of course. Next category was lip balms, lip glosses, lip oils, and lip masks. And this category has 25. I did count everything that looks like this. This was a small size from a Clinique, one of their Rosewater Pop glosses. I counted everything, even if it was a mini, because I'm using it, it's in my inventory. And minis take forever to use sometimes, especially lip balms and glosses. Counted everything. The next one was way more than I thought, and it's brows. So brows, these are pencils, pomades, gels. That's it. Those are the only 3 categories I have. I have 19 brow products. I thought seriously I had the Morphe pencil that I'm using. I had the 2 pomades that I have, and then the gel, the Control Freak gel from NYX, and then the new one from NYX that I bought. This one here. I love this one. The Bear With Me brow setter. It's awesome. That's all I thought I had, but of course I started opening up in here. I forgot I have an Anastasia gel. I forgot the Morphe brow gel. I have an Ulta brow gel. Like I have more than I realized I had. But I'll use them up. I love different brow pencils now that I've been trying different ones. I'm all about the brow pencil, so I'll use them. Next one is eyeliners. Eyeliners, I have 11. I have Smashbox, Urban Decay, Tarte, Pixie, Kat Von D, KVD, ColourPop, of course, one from Araceli. They're all black or brown. I have one from Pixie that's a rose gold. And, you know, eyeliner. I tend to use the same one every day, though. I use, this one, the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade 0. I got this in a 500-point perk, and I use it just about every single day. I love it so much. It's what I have on my waterline today, if you need to know that. I don't know. But usually I tend to use the same one all the time. I don't know why I have so many eyeliners. And eyeliner's not something I use that much anymore either. I can't remember the last time I put eyeliner on my lash line. I just don't like having to rub it off at night, like scrubbing it off with a Q-tip. I feel like my eyes get irritated. I don't know how to use liquid liner to save my life. I usually only put eyeliner in my waterline, so I don't know why I have so many. I know some of them, though, did come from subscription services. Foundations, 19. I have 19 foundations. They're all pretty much right there in that open drawer. That's usually where I keep them all. More than I thought I had, because the square section that it has to store them is pretty small. So I fit more in there than I realized. So yeah, 19 foundations. Highlighters, oddly enough, I only have 44. Only, right? I only have 44 highlighters. But yeah, only 44. The highlighter collection I do keep pretty, I don't want to say it's pared down by any means because that number is very high. But I keep it very, to only things I really like. Like when I reach in there, I pull something out, it's something I'm going to like. I don't like to keep a lot of fluff in there and like, oh, I get to know it, I'll love it, whatever. So 44 is my number in there. So eyeshadow trios and quads, I had 12. This was just stuff that I didn't count as singles and didn't count as palettes. So there's not very many. It's just 12. A couple of CoverGirl ones. A couple I've gotten in Ipsy bags. I know one that looks like a palette, the Dose of Colors Sassy Siennas. it looks like a palette, but there's only 4 shades, so I counted it as a quad. So it's stuff like that that just kind of like didn't meet the palette expectation. So not very many. For blushes, did I add up the number of blushes? I didn't. So for blush, I had 32 at first. Then I filled up another page with another 32 and another page with 31. So I didn't add up the total though. 30, 60, 94, 95, 96 blushes. And guess what? I love all of them. I love all of them. Each one I was touching, I was like, I love this one. I love this one. I love this one. Yeah, that's a lot. And the next category is single eyeshadows. So these are cream eyeshadows, liquid eyeshadows, loose pigments, and then depotted and single pans, and singles in compacts. So I did count single shadows that are in a compact that's magnetic. So I have a lot from Makeup Geek that are these empty palettes for like a quad with an empty pan in them. And I had popped in single shadows in there. So I counted all of those as singles because they're just magnetic pans that I put in a palette. I counted all those singles that are in my Adept palette, and of course liquids and pigments and all that kind of stuff. It added up to 291. 291 single eyeshadows. Okay. So as far as cream eyeshadow and liquid eyeshadow combined, I had 27. I have 9 loose pigment eyeshadows. I have 67 single eyeshadows that are still in their own compacts and that they came in, and I have 188 depotted singles or single pans that I bought as a single pan and put them in a palette, if that makes sense. So 291. The next, this is the last category actually, mascaras. I have 12, and that's a lot more than I thought because I always think I don't have any mascara to use, but I have 12 mascaras. So that's fine. I'll end up using all those up. I use it till it dries up and it starts getting flaky. So I'm pretty sure I'll use those up. And then I started writing down like each shade name. I particularly Makeup Geek because I knew there were duplicates in there. And Makeup Geek eyeshadows, after taking out the duplicates, I have 60 single pans of eyeshadow from Makeup Geek. They were having a crazy clearance sale when they were switching from round pans to square pans. All the round pans went like super sale, like $1 or less for some of them. I bought a ton, which is why I ended up with some duplicates, but those ones I did declutter. They're gonna be on Poshmark. And I started writing down ColourPop and then realized I don't have as many duplicates as I thought, so I only got this far and then I stopped writing. And that's it. That is all of my makeup inventory. It is quite a bit of products. Does that sentence make sense? It doesn't matter. Quite a number of products, maybe. Quite a number of products. I've enjoyed flipping through this thing and being like, ooh, look at all this handwriting I did. Can't remember the last time I wrote so much. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of money. If you missed yesterday's video, I put myself on a budget so I can get to know my collection more. That's it. That's my makeup inventory. Let me know what you think. Is it more or less than you thought? Oh, Lord. It's more than I thought, for realsies. Anyway, that is it. I will see you later with another video. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you later. Bye.